So what did I think of the latest collaboration between Yorgos Lanthimos and Emma Stone, Bugonia? Hey guys, it's Brian. Welcome to the awards contender. I'm very excited to give you my review of Bugonia today. I got to see it a few days early, not Telluride early, like not weeks and weeks ago, but I did get to see it in LA a few days before it goes nationwide. I was visiting some friends in Los Angeles, and I knew I had to make time to see Bugonia, one of my most anticipated films of 2025. You know, I knew like months ago, this is going to be more of a film than Kinds of Kindness. That one last year, it seemed like kind of a lark, you know? It's like Lanthimos had a window in his schedule to get many of his cast and crew that worked with him on Poor Things back and make this kind of interesting anthology film. I liked elements of Kinds of Kindness, but it was frustrating, right? It didn't fully work. It was not a surprise to me when that did not become an awards contender later on, and I have been waiting for the true follow-up to Poor Things, which I think is a masterpiece, one of my 3 favorite films of 2023. Emma Stone gave the performance of the year, and she won her 2nd Academy Award for Best Actress. That was a moment, that was a night, and I don't know about you, I have been waiting for her next great role in a movie. It wasn't Kinds of Kindness. It was not Eddington, right? She had very little to do in Eddington. I knew Bugonia was going to be the next great role for her. Oh my God, you guys. If you are an Emma Stone fan, you are in for a treat. And Jesse Plemons absolutely blew my mind in this as well. Bugonia is not perfect. I had a couple issues with it here and there. But for the most part, it is a wild ride I can't wait to take again. This is a great film. It has a wicked screenplay by Will Tracy, very unpredictable. I thought I knew where the narrative might be going. And by the 3rd act, I was like, I mean, anything can happen at this point. This movie goes to some very surreal, bizarre places, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It is very much a Yorgos Lanthimos film. If you've seen some of his early work and some of the movies he made, like Before the Favorite and Poor Things, like some of the older stuff, it has that feel to it, like kind of grimy, kind of bizarre, surreal, like you don't know what's coming next, and there's so much danger in the narrative. You're like, oh my God. Bad things are going to go down here, and you are in such capable hands. Lanthimos is clearly having a ball with this movie. Sinking his teeth into this tense subject matter, these performances from actors he's worked with before, there's obviously a trust between all of them, which you can see in this film. Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone are allowed to go to some crazy places in their performances. They're very confident, but they also have vulnerabilities to their characters. They don't have all of the answers. And it's such a pleasure to see them act back and forth in this. They have so much more to work with than they did in Kinds of Kindness, where they shared a bunch of scenes together, sometimes as different characters and stuff. In Bugonia, they have fully formed characters that are very complex, 3-dimensional, have layers to them you sometimes don't even expect, especially in the 3rd act. Like where their characters go in those final scenes. It's very exciting and surprising. I will not give any of it away, of course. This is a spoiler-free review. I'll just give you like a tease of how the movie opens. You know, that's in the trailer, if you've seen a trailer. Basically, there are 3 main characters in this. Jesse Plemons plays one of 2 cousins who dive deep into conspiracies, and they believe this high-powered CEO, played by Emma Stone, at this company that is like part of where the Jesse Plemons character works. They believe with every ounce of their being that she is an alien from outer space intent on destroying the Earth. They think she is going to bring to an end mankind in all of its forms. And so after a day at work, she drives home. She's got a mansion, like a beautiful estate. And they come up, they sneak in, they attack her, they knock her out, they shave her head, they bring her to their basement, and they have a little talk with her. They tell her, like, they know exactly what she's planning to do. And she's like, okay, you guys are mentally unwell. You know, you need help. I am not an alien. You have kidnapped me, and now you are both going to jail. And so that's how their back and forth begins. But the movie becomes so much more than that. It's not just like a cat and mouse thriller. It's not like a claustrophobic thriller in this house. It's not like Misery, right? Where it's just like someone's chained up and how do they get out? Like what are they going to do? That's like a piece of Bugonia, but as the movie goes along, you learn more and more about their characters, their motivations, what makes them tick, their backstories, like how they got to be here, how the Jesse Plemons character has had a lot of trauma and grief in his life, and how he thinks like this is the one way he can really find worth in himself, bringing down this alien who is intent on destroying everyone, and Emma Stone with her bald head, tied to this bed in this basement. She can't go anywhere. She has to use her intelligence, her mind, her wit to get out of this situation, to get on his good side, and especially get friendly with his cousin, who doesn't say very much, who just follows orders. He's not a leader and is very scared in a way about what might happen to them. That's all you really need to know about the story. The less you know going in, the better. I had just seen a trailer or two. I didn't know what the second half had in store for me. I loved the surprises, especially in the last 10 to 20 minutes, guys. I would not spoil the ending here. Oh my freaking God. I was like horrified in the theater. I was laughing, I was grinning, and then oh God, this movie really goes to some crazy places I did not expect. And at this point in my life, when I watch so many films week after week, to get some surprises in store, to see a director at the top of his game really going for it, going to places that some audience members, it might be too much. It might be, oh, come on, really? There are going to be some people who push against the third act of Bugonia. I was not one of them. I thought it was great, right? I was really happy with where this movie went. It gets you thinking, gets you talking after the film is over, and you really do feel like you've been on a ride, Where do I begin with my praise? Let's start with the performances. I do think both Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone in this movie are Oscar worthy. Are they going to be nominated? I don't know. One thing I was thinking after leaving the theater, I was like, the film might be too weird. It might be too weird, guys. It's coming out on Halloween. The competition in Best Actor and Best Actress this year, very fierce. Especially actor. I don't think Jesse Plemons has a shot outside of Golden Globes or something. Emma Stone, though, she has had a run the last decade plus, and I do think this is one of her best performances. What she gets to play in this, it's very flashy at times. She has a physical transformation. She's funny. She's screaming. It's physical. Toward the end, she has some beats to this performance, this character, where I was like, oh my God. She is going for it big time. It's just such a confident performance from Emma Stone that's unlike anything she's given us the last few years. She's not playing Bella Baxter in Poor Things. This is not her performance in The Favourites or La La Land or Birdman. This is something totally different. There's so many shades to her character and performance. And by the end, I was really happy with her work in this. So I think she's Oscar worthy, at least for a nomination. I think if she misses, guys, it'll be close. I think she gets close, maybe it's 6th or 7th place. She just doesn't quite make it in, depending on how Bugonia does the next few weeks, at the box office and, come December, January. Is it going to get into Best Picture at the Oscars? Is it going to get into Adapted Screenplay? I think the movie needs, at the Oscars, in January, nominations morning, it needs some love outside of actress. I think it will be tricky if at the end of the day, the only big play for the film is Best Actress Emma Stone. That's where things could get tricky. I don't know. We just gave her her second Oscar last year for Poor Things. There might be that thinking, she's really great in Bugonia. Do we have to nominate her again? How about we put in someone else? That might happen. And I will be sad about it, you guys. I think Emma Stone deserves to be in that 5 on Oscar nominations morning for Best Actress. She is just, I don't know how you walk away from Bugonia and say, mid-level Emma Stone. Like, no, this is one of her best performances ever. She gets to do everything in this. And Jesse Plemons, oh my freaking God. This might be my favorite performance of his to date. He's very good in The Power of the Dog. I love his supporting performance in Game Night. He's been doing really great work the last decade plus in film and TV. I've liked him in certain films. Other movies, he doesn't quite stand out for me. That is not the case with Bugonia. This is like his richest character yet, and he just attacks it with everything he has. I loved his back and forth with Emma Stone in this. It's mesmerizing to watch as the viewer. They both have completely different viewpoints all throughout the film. When she's like trying to buddy up with him, that she's manipulating him, but he's very smart. And he knows deep down, even if he's like, teasing the idea that he might be nice to her, there's a lot going on in his mind, and it's not going to be easy for her to manipulate him. Even though he's very crazy and he's kind of unkempt in his appearance, he's very smart, and he knows what he's trying to accomplish all throughout the film. So that element of his character, his intelligence, matched with her intelligence, that makes for a very exciting watch. And he gets at least 2 or 3 bonkers, brilliant moments in this movie, where again, you can't look away and you're like, wait, what? What is he doing now? This is not just the Emma Stone show. They are very much co-leads in this. It's both Stone and Plemons, doing some of their best work ever. And if you like their work, separately, together, whatever it is, this is a must-see movie. Just for their performances and where their characters go, even if you're struggling with certain elements of the plots and some of that surreal nature of the storytelling, just them acting together in scene after scene is a total pleasure. There are other people in this movie. It's not just Stone and Plemons. The other major character in this film is the cousin, played by Aidan Delbus. And he is a man of few words, and he's not super intelligent. He just follows, and that performance is solid. It's not like the standout of the movie. He doesn't get a whole lot to do with his character, but I do think his addition to the narrative is important. If it was just Plemons and Stone for the majority of it, you didn't have this third character in the house, I don't know if it would work as well, so I do like his addition. And then Alicia Silverstone, who I floated months ago, maybe she could get a supporting actress nomination. I've always loved her since the 90s. I thought, man, her working with Lanthimos and Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, she is barely in the movie, guys. She has maybe 90 seconds of real acting in the film. So that was disappointing in a sense, just because I wanted more of Silverstone in this. But it was great to see her. She's almost unrecognizable. If you don't go in knowing she's in the film, you might not even know it's her. But it was nice to see her nonetheless. On a technical level, this film is brilliant. The cinematography, I guess 95% of Bugonia was shot in VistaVision, and it looks striking. I saw it on a very big screen in Los Angeles. The colors just popped off the screen. It was so beautiful to look at. Even just moments of quiet dialogue scenes in a dark basement. You notice so many small details in the frame whenever we go outside. There are some moments with bees, like the film opens with bees and in their natural habitat, and it's so gorgeous to look at. It's not like a fully widescreen movie, it's kind of like a full frame aspect, and you forget about that pretty soon. I think it's going for kind of a claustrophobic vibe with the aspect ratio and with the vibrant colors that are just popping out all the way through. It doesn't look like any other movie this year, even One Battle After Another, which used VistaVision as well. That has a different look to it, like the colors in that movie are a little different than Bugonia. I think this movie is absolutely worthy of a Best Cinematography Oscar nomination. I haven't really heard about that much. I don't know if it's even in the top 10 right now. I would nominate it. I thought the cinematography in Bugonia was absolutely striking, breathtaking, beautiful to look at all of the way through. I could watch this movie again just for the cinematography of it, take more time to notice all of those details. I love that about it. The editing is really strong, even though there's a lot of scenes in basements of talking, dialogue, and not a whole lot happens, I would say, in the second act. It has a good rhythm to it. You're never bored. There's always something new to look forward to, a development in the story. The costume design is excellent. It really fits these characters well. The score is memorable. I really love the score in this, the sound work. Everything on a crafts level in Bugonia is fantastic. I don't know how well the crafts in this movie will do at the Oscars. I hope at least 1 or 2 technical categories gets recognized. Again, cinematography I think should be on the table. And then you have that imaginative directing from Yorgos Lanthimos, who I heard is taking a break from directing. It might just be for 6 months to a year, I don't know. As much as I enjoyed Bugonia, I very much enjoyed it. I don't think it's a bad idea for Lanthimos to take 2 to 3 years off, come back with a masterpiece that's absolutely at the level of Poor Things, which is still my favorite of his movies. But Bugonia is very close. It's just one notch down. I can't quite give it a 9 or a 10. I floated a 9. But the reason I can't quite go that high on my score is 2 things. The second act of the film, I would say maybe the middle 45 minutes, it does have the occasional lull, a little bit of repetitiveness. There were 2 scenes, 2 moments. I said, okay, the film could be a little bit tighter. I don't know if a couple scenes in the direct middle of the story had to be there. And the other big thing for me is that there is this cop character who plays a significant role in the narrative. He's got 2 or 3 big scenes in it. And that felt a little bit forced in to add some tension to the narrative. It felt a little screenwritery to me. It felt too easy, too obvious, when he shows up in this movie and what he does, what he's there to talk to the characters about. I don't know. I just felt that was the one element of the story I didn't fully buy into. But other than those 2 things, for the most part, I had a really great time with this. A movie that has a gripping story, very complex characters, like Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone and Yorgos Lanthimos at the top of their game from one moment to the next. I do think Bugonia is Oscar worthy. It deserves to at least get into Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Actress for Emma Stone. She deserves to be there. I know it might not happen. She might fade. She's definitely getting in at the Globes, probably Critics' Choice. When there are 6 slots in Actress, I think she's probably in. Once you get to SAG, BAFTA, Oscars, then it gets tricky. Again, I could see her missing just by a little, but she is so strong in this, you guys. It's one of her best performances. She deserves to be back in Best Actress. And Jesse Plemons, Best Actor, I would love to see that as well. Best Actor is extremely competitive this year. There's at least 10 to 12 huge contenders there. Can Plemons slip in? I think after the Globes, probably not. But anywhere he shows up in Best Actor this season, I will be celebrating. He is that good in this. And Lanthimos continues to prove he is one of our best working directors today. I will follow him anywhere, even if he might stumble here and there with a movie that doesn't fully work. His imagination, his storytelling, his creative drive, it's so exciting. You never know really what you're getting from Yorgos Lanthimos film to film. And with Bugonia, he has given us another original work of art that is entertaining, exciting, bizarre, hilarious. It has everything you want in a movie. I give Bugonia a very enthusiastic 8 out of 10.